Hi folks, this is sjsrana again, April 22nd, time 10:47 UTC. So I'm reporting from my home location, which is 150 miles north of Chandigarh, as you know, and this is on my terrace on my top floor. So today we got few of the interesting topics which have come up, and specifically again it's going to be really quick because this time I'm going to update on just global issues and what COVID-19 is coming up with. So let's come up with some things which are concerning global. What's going on with the Ukraine and Donbass situation, specifically concerning Russia, because yesterday President Putin addressed the nation in Russia, where in Kremlin and elsewhere people have come to listen to him. Basically, he was able to conjure up everything into a very short session, but he was able to give the glimpses of what's about to come. He marked the COVID-19 in Russia as a big pandemic, and it really put a big dent on finances. So it was trying to cope up how Russia Federation is going to help people there. They're increasing, basic different sort of schemes, different sort of payments to them, to the families. Also, Russia mentioned like it's going to bring up new innovations and research centers for pathogens research and all the scientific advancement. President Putin was very specific in mentioning 2 or 3 things which were quite key. He also mentioned like he has been warning the West, especially US and the NATO, that there is a red line and do not cross the red line. And if that happens, Russia is not going to take it easy, So there's a red line which I think they have been warning on the military side affairs, where I think this western frontier, which is from the Black Sea to the Arctic region, this whole frontier, there's a line which Russia has drawn on the western borders, specifically like aligning with the Poland, with the Donbass, Ukraine areas, those things. I think Russia is trying to lay emphasis that this is a red line, and if it does happen, it's going to be taking it very seriously. Another thing it mentioned, like it is ramping up the numbers of granting citizenship or the passports, Russian passports, to the people who are residing in Ukraine, Donbass region, where they are supporting Russia and Russian language. People are there in divided mode. So I think that's where this whole thing is coming up in a big way. And Russia almost has given up more than 500,000 residents of Donbass, which are speaking Russian, already citizenship and the passport for Russia. So this is coming up. Now, this situation may escalate in May, but I think there is still scope of a lot of dialogues which can take place so there can be peace talks. But Ukraine has to advance. Right now, Ukraine is only asking NATO to provide support, logistics, because the buildup of military and all the infantry and everything is lining up from Russia to protect Russian nation as well as the people who are speaking Russian language in Ukraine. So that's something which is interesting to see. Moving on quickly, the COVID-19 situation is turning worse for India. Already India is reporting over 314k infections on April 22nd. Now this is situation going to the worst level because this is the highest number ever reported on COVID-19. UK has already put India into the red list, which is banning any travelers. New Zealand has already done so. Now today, even Canadian Premier were also saying so, they've got to have restrictions from India travelers. So that I think Canada may also impose restrictions. Even Australia is going through that part, and I think it's already restricted 60 or 70% of the flights to and fro from India to Australia. So I think all nations are gearing up because the India situation is totally out of control. I put up another video which you can see after this session, which was from Berkeley, but I have put this my own commenting and my own statistics more so on India. So I think overall from this we will see like this thing is going out of control, So COVID-19 is something where people have to move on with, because pandemic is something which is percolating now everywhere, and it's like becoming like a regular cold. But only severity cases are supposed to get into escalation, because after vaccination is done, I think the situation can improve. India has already achieved 120 million vaccination for the people out of 1,400 million people. And Israel has already delivered 80% of its vaccination to the people population. And if you see, China has crossed 200 million vaccination. So China is way ahead when compared to Asia region. And when India and China are neighbors, and they're almost having same population, 1.4 billion. So China is very advanced. China is doing much more better. The government is doing much more better. But I don't know what's going on over here. The government has been a little lethargic. It's not been able to put up this pandemic crisis into the real mode. It has really been a little bit off the guard. Now we'll see what's going to happen. Hi guys, what you're looking at is a short clip provided by Roughly from Russia RT News Center, and you can see the Loknaik local hospital in Delhi, capital of India, where people are suffering for a bed, in a local hospital run by government. And you can see people are having to sit in their car, wait for a line, having a cylinder attached to them. And even the other patients, which you can see, are just scrambling to see where to go, what to do. People like having heart patient and complexities of other ailments together with COVID-19. So interviewing this guy is basically narrating the story of his relative, that they have denied him the entry. And upon asking like why he has denied, they have been denied this entry, he says they don't have any place to put him or a bed to put him. So he's a heart patient and also suffering from COVID-19. So you can see, it's a very pathetic situation in India. Government has obviously failed. This is Gangaram Hospital, again a very reputed hospital in India, New Delhi. Again, same situation. People are piling up with oxygen cylinders everywhere. They're trying to scramble for a bed wherever they can find. They're trying to stay close to hospital, so in case of emergency they can approach doctors and whatnot. So it's overburdened, overwhelmed. Obviously India is not prepared for this kind of casualty which is seeing right now. On April 22nd, India reported over 314k new infections of COVID-19. So this is surpassing the highest ever recorded on world level for COVID-19. In January, US reported around 297k, but India has surpassed anyone reported in the history. So they're showing, people of the Delhi who are facing migrant crisis. This is terminal, ISBT bus terminal and railway tracks terminals, where people are lining up. Upon asking this migrant person what's the problem, he says he doesn't have a work now. He's a daily wage worker and he's daily earning to eat and support himself and his family. But now there's no work in Delhi because of the lockdown. Obviously he has to leave. He's ready to leave and he doesn't have food to eat here because no money is getting generated here. So people are lining up in bus terminals and everywhere else, trying to go back home because lockdown is imposed. Maharashtra, which is reporting the highest COVID-19 cases, already put a lockdown. That lockdown is from April 22nd to May 1st. So these guys, migrants, are facing the tough challenge. Obviously, they have to head back to their family home. So he says he's got to go back and stay with his family at his home. Maybe these people are coming from a state of what we know the state of India known as Bihar and UP. Mostly they come from them to Delhi. It's nearby. It's like a half a day journey back home and come. So for them, but social distancing is a problem. You see over here, even where is social distancing? What kind of social distancing is being implemented? That's the problem. All over India, they have not taken it seriously now. They're coping up with the numbers. Even fatalities have gone to 184k. This is supposed to report numbers. Last quarter, some doctor, the number to my understanding, 2.4% GDP for the quarter. Now we're going to see a lot of new estimates coming up from the global analysts on GDP FY22 India. So I think I don't see double-digit growth for FY2022 for India. I think it's going to be single-digit, maybe somewhere around 8-digit of growth, 8% or 9%. But right now, they started claiming 11.5 in the beginning. They came down to somewhere 11, then they came down to 10.7. Now I think the last I heard was 10.2% growth for FY22 India. But I think it's going to be single digit. Somewhere around 8 or 9 is the number where I see, because everything is in a slump. There is no growth. Even unemployment is massive. More than 250, 300 million people are unemployed in India. Skilled workers I'm talking. So it's a huge number, guys. This is something which is out of control. India government has to do something. It cannot sit back and watch watch things and just keep having mass surveillance over people. This mass surveillance technology is only helping viruses so far. It's not helping people. So government has to come and step in and to do something much more than they were doing earlier. They cannot just sit idle back at home. So this is what's going on, and I think world is going to come up with new innovations, and let's see what comes up with the financial part, and later on the spirituality level. I think time now to introspect and have alignment with the climate, because climate crisis is also developing. As you know, there's going to be global debate. China's already promised that it's going to have carbon emission reduced to almost zero in 2060. Even US is aligning with that number. So China and US are on the same boat of CO2 reduction. And what happens in climate crisis is what we got to watch now, because I think this is something which is of prime importance, that the pollution on planet Earth, air which is getting polluted, has to be addressed. This is where the whole situation is unfolding. So climate crisis is going to be a big thing to be developed, and also which we have seen. I'm very glad to hear people were very happy with the US justice system delivering triumph for the justice, where George Floyd death, murder caused by Derek Chauvin, was put to the justice, and he was sentenced for all the 3 counts. So people have celebrated there, but unfortunately there were more incidents which occurred in Ohio, Columbus, recently, where a minor girl, 16 years old, was shot dead by cops. Again, that's under investigation, so a lot of things are going around. So those things, I think, is a wrap now. I'm going to add more sessions later on. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.